Welcome to Live and Local Anoka. It is a beautiful fall day here at Peninsula Point Park, and we've got a great show for you coming up. Stick around. We've got a lot of great stories and interviews coming right now. Welcome back to Live and Local Anoka. My first guest here today is the assistant manager at one of our favorite spots in the city of Anoka, Green Haven Golf Course. We have Ryan Wagner with us today. Ryan, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
And I thank you for stepping away from Green Haven. It is a great day to be out on the golf course today.
It is.
So how's the season been at Green Haven? I know it's been a little wet summer, but a beautiful fall. Can you tell us a little bit about how your season's gone?
Yeah, we got off to a great start here in Anoka. We had an early spring, which really helped, got the numbers off booming. We did have a little bit of a wet summer, like you said, but the fall has been awesome. We couldn't ask for a better day. And we have about another 6 weeks left of the golf season, we're hoping. So we can keep letting guys get out there playing and having a good time.
6 more weeks. That is awesome. So are there any tournaments coming up in those 6 weeks before the season ends?
Yeah, our last tournament will be our Halloween tournament. It's one of the best ones of the year, especially with Anoka having such the rich Halloween capital of the world.
Yeah.
It's the last Saturday in October, which is the 26th. A four-man scramble. You just sign up your own team, go out and play. Some teams will even dress up in Halloween costumes. A lot of fun. I would say sign-ups will probably happen in the next 2 weeks, and you do want to sign up early because we will be on a waiting list once we get to about the middle of October for that.
Excellent. That's good to know. That sounds like a blast. And if the weather is anything like it's been, I'm sure it's going to be incredible. We usually have pretty good luck with parade and stuff that same weekend.
Yep.
Looking ahead, are there any, for those who maybe are not able to do it this year, is there time still to sign up for any golf leagues or things like that at Green Haven in 2025?
Yeah, so the two leagues that we have that anybody can sign up for, we have a men's league and a ladies league. The ladies league plays on Tuesdays. They play, the 18-hole league plays during the morning. The 9-hole league plays in the afternoon. And then for men's leagues, we have a 9-hole league that plays in the afternoon on Thursdays and a 18-hole league that plays in the mornings. And we'll probably start taking sign-ups around February of 2025. So if you're interested, call the golf course. You always can check our website too. We post everything on there and start signing up for the upcoming season.
Excellent. So with it being September, talking about the end of the season, whether we like it or not, winter is coming one way or another.
It is.
It sounds like Green Haven is still really busy in the wintertime. Can you tell us about some of tell us about the golf simulators that you have at Green Haven?
So we have 2 HD golf simulators, a lot of fun. We have over 40 different golf courses that you can play on there. And then you can also set up if you want to just do like a driving range, chip and putt, practice a little bit. Our simulators are open Tuesday through Saturday from about 9 in the morning to really you could play 9, 10 o'clock at night. It's all tee time based. So just, again, check our website or call our pro shop to make a tee time and come out and play, and you could be by yourself or you can have 4 guys, and just a way to swing the club in the winter and stay loose a little bit.
Excellent. And I hear you've got a couple of great ways for people to get outside during the winter months at Green Haven too. Can you tell me about that?
Yep. So we have cross-country skiing with 2 locations. We have the Green Haven location at the golf course, and then we also have the nature preserve behind there. We do need a solid probably 2, 3, 4 inches around there to get a base. Then you can start skiing on it once they pack it down. But when you want the classic trail on there, you do need a solid foot of snow. So once we get that foot, they'll start grooming the whole trail so that way you can get the classic ski on there and come out and ski in the winter.
Excellent. Great way to get outside in the winter time. I'm a downhill skier, but my parents have been trying to get us into cross-country skiing for a while, so this might be the season at Green Haven.
Come out and do it.
So the other activity that I've heard about in the wintertime is disc golf. So can you tell me a little bit about the disc golf course at Green Haven?
Yeah, disc golf, we've added it. I think this will be our 3rd winter. Very popular. There's no fee to do it, which is kind of nice. It's all free to come out and play. Really any time, any day. It's whenever the golf course closes for the season. So as soon as they close for the season, we'll get all the baskets and the tees out there, and they can come out and play. Like I said, anytime. There are a couple leagues that you can sign up for. It's all on the Cedars at Greenhaven Facebook page, or if you go to udisc.com, kind of see all the information. It will show you the course layout, the pars of all the holes, and then some tournaments and leagues that they have upcoming. And if you're interested in any of that, you can get a hold of Nikki at City Hall. She can get you registered, get you signed up, and it's pretty cool. They have a league that plays Tuesday night. They light up all the baskets, glow sticks, everything. Awesome. Their discs light up, and it's kind of crazy to see because all you see is a bunch of frisbees and light up stuff all over the place, and really neat. Brings a lot of people to Greenhaven in the winter.
That sounds really cool. I'm going to have Billy, our producer, earmark that, because that might be something that we come by and check out for ourselves. That sounds fantastic. Well, thank you so much for telling us all about Greenhaven. Anything else that people should know about Greenhaven before we go here?
The big thing, like you said, a lot of guys think, just the golf course, but we have a lot of stuff going on in the winters with the simulators, the cross-country skiing, and the disc golf. So, plus the bar and restaurant's always open, so I'd say stop by and do one of the activities.
Excellent. I would love to. I said before we started, I've been to Greenhaven many times, never played it, so I might have to get out there and hit the links. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us, Ryan. And now we have one of our first great Anoka stories coming up right now.
So my name's Krista Gordhammer. This is the Artery Studio, where you can come take stained glass classes start to finish, or even pick up projects that are cut for you and you can finish here. I also have mosaic classes and a friend who's teaching glass fusing classes.
You might have heard of the Artery Studio before when it was in Ramsey, but owner Krista decided to move locations to Anoka because she grew up in the area.
I used to be an art teacher, and during COVID it just stopped being fun. And I was telling my parents about how unhappy I was with my dream job not working out to be so fantastic. My dad told me I should come to this old office building where he used to have a space, and I should open up my own studio to teach classes there, so that's where the Artery was born. I get to do whatever I want every single day. I can't wait to get here every day and just get working on glass. So the next thing we are doing is wrapping all of our pieces with copper foil tape, and most of us have opaque dark glass. So today I have a group making their own sun catchers. They got to design their projects, choose all their glass, cut the glass, grind the glass, and right now they're foiling, and in a few minutes we'll be soldering.
From beginner or experienced, the Artery Studio is a great spot to be.
Yeah, I try to make the process as easy as possible, which is kind of why most weeknights I'll have it cut out ahead of time, because cutting is really the hardest part. You'll end up breaking a lot of glass and getting frustrated and just throw your hands up and say, this is not for me. But I think today I had a little bit of practice glass cutting for people. They really got their feet wet with it and took off with it.
And every artist has a favorite piece they've made.
It's the rainbow quilt block in the corner. Yeah. I love color theory, so I have it all organized in the color wheel around a set of bevels that cast more color into the room.
So make sure you check out the Artery Studio in Anoka and make a memorable piece of art to brighten your day.
Welcome back to Live and Local Anoka. It is still September, but October is just a couple days away. And if you're in Anoka, you know that October means Anoka Halloween. We have with us today Michelle Austin-Dehn of Anoka Halloween. Michelle, thank you so much for coming on Live and Local today. It's good to have you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So I would like to know a little bit about your role in Anoka Halloween and how you got involved with this monumental festival.
Yeah, sure. So in 2017, my daughter was selected as a Royal Anoka Halloween Ambassador. And at that time, I really had no idea how much was involved with Anoka Halloween and who they were. We learned a lot that year. We had the honor and privilege of volunteering that year, helping get the float to different parades around the state. And then afterwards, I kind of dipped my toe in and started volunteering, doing various things throughout Anoka Halloween. And 2 years ago, I started organizing the 3 parades. And then last year, I also became part of the Anoka Halloween board. So I guess I'm all in.
Awesome. Well, I've had the pleasure of talking to several people involved in Anoka Halloween over the years, and it is a Herculean sort of task that you guys are putting on. So thank you for your hard work. Yeah. Of course, we all here know what Anoka Halloween is, but if for someone at home that may be new to the community, what is Anoka Halloween? Or who is Anoka Halloween?
Yeah. So we are a nonprofit organization. We were founded in 1941. Basically with the goal to honor and preserve the rich history that Anoka Halloween has. We also, part of our mission is to do community-based events for Halloween, and then we also give back scholarships to 2 Anoka High School seniors and then the 3 Anoka Royal Ambassadors. And most of the proceeds from our Anoka Halloween gift store is what funds our scholarship programs.
Excellent. So speaking of the gift store, we actually shot our Live and Local Anoka last fall at the gift store. So can you tell the viewers at home more about that location?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's off of 2nd Avenue, right in downtown Anoka. It's open every weekend in October from 10 to 4, and you'll find various Halloween merchandise there, and then also some really interesting historical pieces. So we have many years of all of the different button designs, and then we also have the official Declaration of Congress naming us the Anoka Halloween capital of the world.
That's so cool.
So it's really neat, yeah.
Like I said, we shot our Live and Local there last fall, and I had never been there before. It is really something. So if you at home have not been, you should check it out. No better time of year. And the buttons I think are so fascinating. The designs are fantastic. My favorite is, I think in 91, the button design by coincidence was totally white, and that was, of course, the year of the Halloween blizzard.
I'm going to have to look at that one next time I'm down there.
I hope I didn't just totally butcher that, but it's the buttons are just so cool. So what is in store for this year at Anoka Halloween, and is there anything new that community members can expect?
Yeah, so we start off our season on October 6th at City Hall Plaza with a pumpkin weigh-off, scarecrow contest, pumpkin carving contest. We will have more vendors and food vendors than we've had in previous years, and also we will have our first car show there that year. And we also have a new event that we are collaborating with Discover Anoka. It will go on for 2 weeks. It's a scavenger hunt. So we have 20 participating businesses that will have just a little Halloween symbol hidden in their store or business. It's not all retail stores. And people can go and just try to find the Halloween symbol. And if they write them all down on the sheet, going this way, it will give you a little Halloween message.
Oh, fun.
And if you have a completed card, you can enter for a chance to have VIP seating at either the Light Up the Night Parade or the Grand Day Parade.
Awesome.
Good parking, shuttles to your spots. So
and that's a big deal.
Yes, it is.
That parade
Yes,
is quite, both of them are huge.
Yes.
And the attendance is astonishing.
60 to 100,000 people.
100,000 people.
Yeah.
That's it's definitely something that is a high value prize.
Yeah. But you can do it. You can do the scavenger hunt even if you don't want to watch the parade. I just think it's a fun family activity to do.
Well, and what a great way to get people into local businesses too, and to get people into those storefronts. That's a awesome idea. So speaking of the Grand Day Parade, that's one of our favorite events to cover here at QCTV. Can you tell us what's in store this year, and if there's going to be 100,000 people, how and when can we start reserving seats?
So at 4 a.m., the day of the parade, you can start putting out your chairs or your blankets or your roping off your areas.
Excellent.
So good for you if you're that committed, but you won't find me out there that early.
That's definitely an early call, but it is like I said, it's worth it. We get reserved spots every year, and we still sometimes struggle to find places for our crew to stand. It's really something.
Well, it's just so fun, and it's such a tradition. I mean, it's been over 100 years that we've been having a parade.
It's fantastic. Is there anything that's new this year to the parade that people can expect?
Just the VIP seating.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. So what are some of the other events that Anoka Halloween has in store that people can look forward to during the month of October?
So we have bingo events, we have a preschool contest event, pumpkin carving for the kids, the Light Up the Night parade, the bonfire, medallion hunt. I mean, just kind of a little bit of something for everybody. All of our events are listed on our website, anokahalloween.com.
Excellent. And if you can't make it, you can tune into our parade coverage of the big parade of little people and the Grand Day parade. And then we're also covering the Royal Ambassador coronation, which is a fantastic tradition in and of itself. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us today. We cannot wait for Anoka Halloween, and I'm sure that you are even more excited.
Excited. I'm very excited. I'm also excited for it to be over.
Well, thank you so much. So we're going to visit one of those Anoka businesses, Random Hippie, in this next story.
If you're looking for peace, love, and rock and roll, there's no need for a time machine. All you need to do is visit Dottie Courtney at Random Hippie in downtown Anoka.
It turned into this, I don't know how to describe it, it's its own living entity. Every time that we walk into this store, something amazing happens. There's always a good story that comes out of this store every day. We love that we're trying to create a place that's safe and comfortable, and anybody can shop. This isn't a woman's boutique. This is an all-person shop.
Upon visiting Random Hippie, you'll be sure to notice one particular feature that sets this space apart from the rest.
Which came into the mural. We wanted something to kind of give back to the community and help bring the community together even more. You know, we're living in a tough time right now. Things are tough. People are upset, people are angry, and we're trying to push people past that. This is a really good way to do that. People come in and they start talking about it and they pick something out that resonates with them, and it just turns into this whole great conversation. Well, it started with Jamie Myers from Eye Candy Art. Her art is so beautiful, and I want everyone to see it. I wanted everyone to experience. Then I talked to Mac over at Rum River Art Center, and I'm like, hey, let's get this mural going, you know, let's get something going for the community. Let's have something to talk about. I said, you guys can do what you need to do, you know, let's keep it in a good, happy vibe. And I gave them total freedom, and they collabed, and this is what they did. And it's just, it's such an emotional piece of artwork because it's just so beautiful to look at, and there's so much feeling behind it. And being here watching the artist doing it and seeing the emotion that was going into it, I don't know, it did something for all of us. It made us all not only just feel supported, but validated that, hey, they took this serious and they're taking what they do serious.
So whether you're a serious shopper, an art lover, or just looking to let the good times roll, Random Hippie has what you need.
This is, you know, I really want to stress how important this mural is. You know, it is to bring the community together. I think we've all had some hard life issues, just basic life issues, but then the outside world throws so many things at us all the time. And man, if you can just come in here for 5 minutes and just see this and just suck it in and feel the love that came from this and the creativity and just chill. And if we can give you 5 minutes of peace, that's all we need, you know, change it 5 minutes at a time. That's all we're trying to do. 5 minutes at a time, one hug at a time. That's all we're trying to do.
Welcome back to Live and Local Anoka. Here with me now is Lisa Lacasse of the Anoka Public Services and Parks and Rec Departments. Lisa, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
It's a beautiful day here on the Mississippi River, and we actually are an eye shot of the Rum River right now. I understand there's a lot of projects happening on the Rum River in Anoka, some of it due to a lot of rain and a lot of high water this summer. What can you tell us about the dredging that's going on the river and what that entails for folks that might not know?
Sure. Well, the dredging project actually just started today. It had been slated to start earlier in the summer, but because of the high water, due to some unseasonable rains that we received in June and July, it had been postponed. But basically last year we had some sedimentation that occurred from the spring floods. And so anybody that tried to navigate the Rum River up to behind City Hall would know that the channel had been somewhat blocked in some areas, and it had been very difficult to navigate. So we went through all the permitting processes, and we're now removing that sedimentation from the navigable channel, from the mouth of the Rum all the way up to the pedestrian bridge.
Wow.
And we had done from the pedestrian bridge up to City Hall earlier, or last fall. So that segment had been cleaned out, and now this is the last phase of that.
So if you see an excavator in the water,
that's what they're doing.
It's there on purpose.
Yes, it is there on purpose, and it'll be there for about 2 weeks.
Okay, and is that what's going on right across from us right now?
It is. It is, absolutely.
You can't see it at home, but there's a big construction vehicle that's been making a lot of noise during our broadcast.
Yep.
Serendipitous timing. I also understand that there's a riverbank restoration going on south of the high school. What can you tell us about that project and what makes it unique?
Well, what makes it unique is it started out with a result of a trail failure, or a tree had fallen into the river, and so part of the Rum River Regional Trail had actually become compromised by the riverbank. The challenge with this project is that the Rum River Trail is the city's trail and is identified as a regional trail, but it's actually, most of it's not constructed on city property. So we have an easement for that trail. So where the riverbank failed is state property, and so we have been working with a variety of agencies, including the Anoka Conservation District, to get the riverbank fixed so that we could then fix the trail and reconstruct the trail. So that project should be starting here in the next couple of weeks. They're going to be working on the riverbank first, and then once the riverbank is reconstructed and stabilized, then we'll be reconstructing the trail and putting the trail back in and opening that back up to residents. It's been closed for about maybe 3 years now. Wow. And so it's been a hot topic for folks because they haven't been able to utilize the entire trail.
Absolutely.
And just the ability to explain to folks why it's taken this long, because it appears as though it should be an easy fix, but we don't own the property, so therefore we just can't go in and do what we want to do there to make the trail work again.
That's actually super interesting. Just a great way to explain to residents just how something as simple as that can have lots of red tape for very good reasons, but can be a little more complicated than it seems. Do you have an estimated timeline of when that trail will be open to the public again?
It all depends on how the fall happens for us with the weather-wise and how quickly the Conservation District gets the riverbank reconstructed. We're hoping to have the trail at least graveled in before winter, and then if we can, we'll get the pavement back on. Otherwise, it could be not paved until the spring.
Okay. Well, it's right around the corner one way or another. That's great to hear.
Yep. It's at least in the works. So
Excellent.
They should see some construction happening shortly.
Excellent. So I understand there's also work being done on the West Rum River Trail. Can you tell me what that work is and what's in store for that project?
Yeah, so the West Rum River Trail is a short first phase of a longer trail system that'll occur on the west bank of the Rum in the downtown. So we're creating about a 1,600-foot trail spur that'll come off of the sidewalk on Ferry Street and take pedestrians down towards the river so that you can get views of the stone house, the amphitheater. You go underneath the pedestrian bridge and then come back up towards Ferry Street to be able to get on to the pedestrian bridge to cross the river. The other thing, that the trail is going to cut through the Giddings Gardens, so it'll give people a really neat view of that history piece as well. So it's appears as though it's just a short little segment, but it's really the kicking off point of a much larger project.
Excellent. And you already spoke to some of this, but can you tell us exactly what sort of improvements people are going to be seeing from that project?
Yeah, so it'll be a trail, a winding trail down towards the river. There'll be a boardwalk that'll cross the Giddings Gardens, and so they'll get that kind of intimate, up close look of what that used to be. And then again past the amphitheater. But like I said, it's just a short trail spur, but it gives you a scenic view of the Rum and gets you away from the noise of Ferry Street, and just is a nice little contained loop. So there'll be some benches and some other amenities that are added along the trail. And then eventually we hope to continue to the south, possibly coming down into this park here at Peninsula Point Park and connecting up to the dam.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That sounds like it's going to be absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to check that out when that's all complete. The Rum River is such a beautiful and unique asset for the city of Anoka. It's great to hear about all these projects that are improving that riverfront, and you're really taking advantage of it, which is awesome. There's also talk about riverbank restoration just up the road from here at the Woodbury House. For those that are not familiar, can you tell us about this location and why there's restoration required?
Yeah, so a few years ago, a portion of the riverbank basically the trees gave way, the riverbank gave way, and it fell into the river. And above on the bank, what you can't see from if you're down in the river, is there's a stone path and just this really cool stone rock bridge that's right on the edge of the river bluff, right above where the bluff failed, where the bank failed. And so we want to protect that. And part of that project, when we do the restoration of the riverbank, is to actually move those cultural historic pieces a little bit farther away from the riverbank so that we can preserve them and preserve that history. With that project, because it's such a steep bank, there are additional areas of that could fail, just based on the Anoka sugar sand and kind of the instability of the bank and the high waters and flooding and all of those things come into play. So we want to protect our assets along the river and within the community, and so we've taken that proactive step to try to achieve that.
Excellent. And like you said, and as we were saying before, it is such an extraordinary asset, and it's great to hear about all the work that the city is doing to preserve and protect one of the city's most beautiful features. Elisa, is there anything else that you would like the viewers at home to know about the public services or the Parks and Rec departments before we go?
Well, we maintain about 30 parks within the city of Anoka. Many of them are available to rent for citizens. So if anybody is interested in doing a party, an event, a family reunion, something like that, Peninsula Point Park, where we're sitting now, is available. It's one of our most popular parks. But we have several others within the city that are available. So if they have never been here, they should come check it out, because this is one of the most unique experiences to have here in Anoka at the confluence of the Rum and Mississippi. It's just gorgeous. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, it is extraordinarily beautiful. Any chance that we get to do programming down here, to just shoot down here. We did some drone photography recently. It's super striking where the two rivers, the confluence, like you said, great vocab word, where they come together.
It's our buzzword, yeah, for the park.
It really is great, and people should check it out. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for joining us today and for coming on Live and Local.
Absolutely, thank you.
It's our pleasure. Now, next we are going to learn about the Anoka Community Mission in this story.
Just off of Pierce Street in Anoka is one of the largest humanitarian efforts in the state. And above all else that will be shared in this video today, Anoka Community Mission acts as a solution to some of the largest problems that the country faces today. And thus the purpose of the video is to encourage others to be a part of the solution by visiting anokacommunitymission.org and learning how you can donate or volunteer. I met up with Executive Director Jason Berry to get an exclusive look inside their incredible facility, learn about their volunteer work and opportunities, and to get a glimpse of what it takes to run a mission like this.
We call 440 Pierce Street the Miracle on Pierce Street, and our vision is, if the Lord allows us to, we are going to end up becoming Minnesota Community Missions, and Anoka would be one of our sites.
What has started as a child care ministry with Little Blessings of Anoka in 2013 has now grown into a multifaceted nonprofit with 9 ministries that serve a variety of the most crucial needs in the community.
If you think the mission is the umbrella, and then there are different programs that report to that umbrella. There are social needs programs that are distributing emergency items, but then we have a number of fundraising programs. We collect aluminum cans, we collect rejected international currency, we collect children's books. So they all have their names so that we can track all those. They have their own accounts. And we designed it that way so if any one of those programs grew to such an extent that it needed to become its own nonprofit, it could spin off and become its own nonprofit. And then as you've seen in the building, if the donor wants the funds to go to a particular program, Jason, I want you to use these dollars to buy toilet paper for families. Okay, well, the funds will go into general fund and get transferred over to Martha's Cupboard, and I'll go buy toilet paper with the Martha's Cupboard debit card. And that's another reason why we're structured the way that we are. It enables us to very easily honor donor intent.
Of course, the work at the mission cannot be done without its dedicated volunteers, whose experiences and skill sets are vast to meet each ministry needs, including Jason's 13-year-old daughter, Rachel, who has been volunteering at the mission with her father since she was 7, who has now become a leader at the mission and an inspiring example for other volunteers to give to their full potential. Volunteers at the mission are present throughout the week on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and on Saturdays is the mission's donation drop-off day for anyone in the community who wish to donate large quantities of food and clothing items to the mission. The mission does encourage donors to refer to their needed items page on their website to see what items are in high demand at the mission. Sundays is for emergency distribution at the mission from 2 to 5 p.m., offering families and individuals groceries, clothing, and anything else they can offer. And it is through these incredible efforts that allow the mission to both meet each ministry's goals and to stretch it to reach even further with additional programming for community needs.
The plan is that we'll continue to do our emergency distribution on Sundays from 2 to 5, but then on Monday evening we're going to do a community dinner. And we'll be able to feed people here in the core, and then the classrooms that are on the perimeter will be used for small group rooms and children's ministry as well. Now the plan is after we get Solomon's Wardrobe done, then I'm going to have a gymnasium, and I'm going to reestablish the backboard for basketball. I'm going to have a nice epoxy floor and a half court at least. That area will also be available for inflatables, so that we can incorporate that into our children's programming.
Alongside everything that drives the mission forward, including both volunteer hours and generous donations, it is Jason's conscientious handling of every cent and item given to the mission to stretch the value of each donation as far as possible, or as Jason refers to it, as God's economy.
And because we operate so lean, we can really stretch those dollars and make a big impact. Because when you think about, on average, 100 families get served on a weekend. We can provide all of the essential food and clothing and hygiene needs. I mean, $1,000 a year for a family? I mean, that's God's economy. That's like that is the miracle on Pierce Street, the loaves and fishes in the 21st century. And I think that's a really cool story to tell. And of course, it doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens because grocery stores give, and nonprofits give, and individual donors give, and people donate their time to be driving around in their vehicle to be picking up stuff. We've been told that there really isn't anything like us, so we want to try and do this well. We want to, we do have other nonprofits that are benchmarking and looking at what we're doing, and we want to try to help them avoid the landmines that organizationally that we've stepped on over the years. And we certainly want to be a blessing, but I hope that what's happening here could expand even beyond our scope, and that it could be reproduced well, and that as many people can be helped as possible.
Welcome back to Live and Local Anoka. Here at Peninsula Point Park, we are just down the road from one of Anoka's most historic buildings and one of their most popular and unique eating establishments in Mad Hatter. We have Liz Cook here from Mad Hatter. Liz, thank you for coming on the show with us.
Sure, you bet.
So there's a lot of changes happening at Mad Hatter. I was up there with Billy, our producer, just a couple weeks ago to kind of get a preview. Can you tell us what's new at Mad Hatter, and specifically about the markets?
Yeah, so we are adding in food grab-and-go market, which is why we discontinued brunch. I know we upset a lot of people. We're sorry, but it became not sustainable after the pandemic, and I've always wanted the grab-and-go markets. It's on our blueprints from our original build-out. We're super excited. It is taking extremely longer than we planned for because of the history of the house, and so we're being very mindful to not disturb. It's going in the library, and it's all paneled walls, and of course the hardwood floors, and so we just have to be super mindful to not disturb the history and the beauty of the property, because we don't know in 100 years. I won't be there for sure. Somebody may want to take that out one day and still have the original stuff. And so that process has taken a lot longer because there's a lot more involved in it and a lot more expenses. But we're doing it. We just feel like it's the right thing to do. But it's going to be great. It's going to have all of our, not all, but a lot of our favorites that people have gotten used to over the years. And pastries, our scones, of course, quiches, our salad dressings, jams, dinners. We're going to have ready-made dinners, so you can just stop and pick up dinner on your way home. You can pre-order, that kind of thing. So we're just super excited about the market.
Excellent. And the library space, having just visited, is beautiful, and that's going to be a beautiful, beautiful spot for that. You talked about the construction and it being a little bit more complicated being in such a gorgeous historical building. How is the construction going to change the interior?
It won't, from a customer standpoint, it's not going to change a whole lot, other than some of the paneling will be covered up because we have to have, the health department has to approve, and we have to have all the things that a commercial kitchen has to have, basically, which we have a commercial kitchen, but because we'll be serving food out there as well, we have to go through that whole process. So there will be some of the paneling covered up, but it will not be disturbed from behind. So the original, there's a few spots they'll have to attach, but they'll basically be like a false wall. And so it's not going to change it a whole lot aesthetically.
Yeah, and that's a great, very mindful way to, as you were saying, preserve the history, but also modernize it for the use that you have intended. And I think it's going to be a fantastic combination of old and new. So you said it's been a long project. Do you have a timeline that you can share with us for when that market will be open?
Sure. So it opened on June. So that didn't happen. And then July, and here we are. So my new goal is before our Christmas tea starts, which will be November 29th. So that's our new goal. We'll see if we hit it. If we do, we do. And if we don't, it kind of is what it is. Excellent.
So Mad Hatter, you mentioned Christmas tea. Mad Hatter's kind of unique in that you do high tea service. I have not heard of any, I'm a big tea drinker, big fan. I've not heard of any other place around here that does high tea service. Can you tell us about the boutique, the high tea service, and how people can participate and experience that?
Yeah, sure. So the high tea is sort of a traditional, British European high tea service on a 3-tier tower. It's beautiful with scones and tea sandwiches, desserts, and of course pots of teas and beautiful china and all of that. And we've been doing that for 25 years now. It's what we built the business on, and yes, nobody around here, knock on wood, but
Ordered the market.
Yeah. So that's very unique. It's very different. And now with shutting down brunch and opening the market, our dine-in will basically be the high tea service, although stay tuned because we are adding a tea luncheon back in that we have not done since the old location. So that's super exciting too.
Excellent. So what's the difference between the tea luncheon and the high tea service then?
Yeah, so the high tea really is a special occasion experience, and it's not a budget-friendly thing for everybody. The tea luncheon will be more budget-friendly, and space allowed, we will take walk-ins for that. We are going to do our best to keep it reservation-based, but it'll be much more affordable and also quicker, just in and out if you're meeting somebody for a business meeting or a girlfriend, or just a little more casual, even though it's in the same area. Yeah.
Excellent. It is, we had a chance to just pop in and see some of the service that was going on. It's a beautiful, beautiful space, and like you said, such a unique experience for the Twin Cities, and it feels like it's out of a storybook. It's really something that I would like to check out in the near future, and I would encourage folks at home to check out if you haven't. Like I said to you earlier today, I've driven past the exterior hundreds of times since I've worked here, and didn't set foot in there till about 2 weeks ago, and it's amazing. I can't believe what I've been missing out on.
Yeah.
So speaking of that beautiful exterior, you are in a historic building. Can you tell us a little bit about the history tours you have going on?
Oh my gosh, we're so excited about that too. It is right now predominantly geared towards summer and fall weather because it is outside. It's a self-guided tour. We've partnered with the Anoka County Historical Society, and they have been just great with getting history and assisting and doing some events with us. But it's QR code based. I think we have, I want to say 18 signs. And you walk up, you read some history, you scan the code, and you get a lot more information. And that will also take you to the historical site website, which is great. So it's just, keeping the history, the rich history of Anoka relevant, and encouraging people to come, even if that's all they want to do. And if they, go to the market and grab a cocoa and a scone, great. But really, we want to get a lot more people coming through there, and not necessarily for a 2-hour experience, just a more casual, come enjoy the property kind of thing.
And that's a great way to do it. I'm sure between that and the market, especially if next year is anything close to as nice as this year has been for outdoor activities, you're going to have a lot of success with that. That's a fantastic idea. And the Anoka County Historical Society, we can't say enough nice things about them here at QCTV. Yeah. They are awesome, so be sure to check them out and check out the Mad Hatter history tours as well. So I understand you also do private events. Can you tell us how one would go about booking a private event and some highlights of events that you've hosted in the past?
Oh gosh, we've done so many. So we do a lot of events for ourselves that we host. So with Halloween, we do an annual children's tea party. It's Wanda the Wacky Witch. That is October 9th. Tickets on our website, madhatteranoka.com. And that is where you book reservations, find out about events. To book an event is also on our website. We are not taking any more events for this year, but we will do them next year. Lots of baby showers, bridal showers, engagement parties, retirement parties. I've done several celebrations of life, which I love at that property. So just kind of whatever. We've done business meetings, but a lot of celebratory events.
That's great. And it is a great, beautiful space to have your events. It's I sound like I'm a little gobsmacked because, like I said, I'd never been in there, and it kind of knocked my socks off a little bit. It's really beautiful, and it's so exciting. All these great changes that you have that combine the history of the building with your unique business and with the future of what you want to get out of the community. So thank you for your hard work, and it's been great talking to you about Mad Hatter.
Thank you.
And thank you for going down the rabbit hole with us.
Of course. Appreciate it.
So up next, we are going to be visiting another local business here in Anoka. It's Ginny Bites. She's been on this show and the Chamber Report many times before, and we're going to check in with her right now.
Today, we're at Ginny Bites, a Southern-inspired bakery located in the heart of downtown Anoka. Oh hey look, here's Ginny herself.
Welcome to Ginny Bites.
AKA Virginia Loudon.
I feel like what I bring to Anoka is just more of that home-cooked, from-scratch vibe. It's not showy, it's not flashy, but like if you were to go sit down at the table with your grandma and have a cup of coffee in the South, you know, she's gonna bring you out this fresh baked slice of pie or a delicious bar that she's just whipped up.
I was overwhelmed with the selection at Ginny Bites, but I knew I had to try a few things. So I opted for the tomato soup cake, more on that later, and the Nutella stuffed chocolate chip cookie. Virginia pretended to hand it to me, but she actually doesn't do that. Instead, she wraps it up nice in this newspaper wrapping. I could not wait to dive into this thing. I mean, look at the majestic Nutella pulp. This thing was delicious, but I'm going to need to walk around the block a few times after eating this. So while I do that, let's check in with Virginia to learn more about Ginny Bites, as well as touching on that tomato soup cake.
It is just like an old school Southern grandma trick. You would use a can of Campbell's tomato soup in the cake, and it keeps it nice and moist, gives it a really cool color, and I have people question me about it all the time. They're like, what? And honestly, if I didn't tell you what it was and you took a bite, you'd think it was pumpkin cake, but wonder. When I was a kid, my school years I spent in Minnesota, and my summers I spent in Louisiana with my mom. So the second she'd pick us up to drive us down to Louisiana, we'd have either a Yoo-Hoo or a Big Red, and that was summer, right? So when I started trying to bring my vision to life, I wanted to bring as much Southern style, not only fun beverages, but products in general. And so a lot of the things that I sell here are either made in Louisiana or in the South in general, and kind of fit my vision for what I wanted to bring. Things that you can't find anywhere else in town, and that, again, you might not have seen since you were a kid, or maybe never.
Ginny Bites also takes special requests and special orders, so be sure to reach out. Thanksgiving is on the way, folks, and Ginny Bites can help with those pie and cake orders. Ginny Bites also sells their own special spices and seasonings.
I would say that Ginny Bites is a little slice of Louisiana in the heart of Anoka, Minnesota.
Hey, stop in and browse their delicious bakery counter, stay for the Southern-inspired items, and be sure to check their lunch specials as they rotate often.
Thank you so much for joining us for Live and Local Anoka today, and special thanks to our guests from the city of Anoka here and to Pam Bowman, who's standing just off camera, for helping to coordinate this fantastic show with us. We wanted to let you know that the Social District in Anoka, one of our favorite things, is ending on October 6th. So if you want to get out and enjoy this beautiful fall weather, head down to the Social District, patronize some of those local businesses that we have spotlighted here today, and enjoy a beer on the beautiful streets of Anoka. There's a few things better than that, in my opinion. Us here at QCTV, we've got a lot of great stuff coming on. Of course, you can tune into the Post every Wednesday at 2 p.m. The Live and Local is the last Wednesday of every month. I believe our next one is featuring the city of Champlin, and after that, the city of Andover will be in the spotlight again. We also have our fall sports season wrapping up, so be sure to check our website, qctv.org, for a list of our fall sports programming. And then we've got playoffs coming. That's one of our most busiest times of year, is fall sports playoffs, and of course, all of the Anoka Halloween festivities that you love. We're covering the big parade of Little People, the Grand Day Parade, and the Royal Ambassador Coronation. So it's a busy time, but it's such a fun time for us at QCTV and here at Anoka. Thank you as always for joining us, and we will see you next time.